So there are struggles to being vegan, and it's not just like me. I'm addicted to meat and dairy, even though I'm sensitive to dairy. Hi guys, so as I already told you before, I was vegan before 2011 to 2015, so that's 4 years. And yeah, I have also tried plant-based before. You know, plant-based, you eat less meat. There's plant-based vegan, but what I did was plant-based with meat, and it didn't work for me because as soon as I ate a little bit, I ate more. So the reason why I tried plant-based for a month, February this year, was because I didn't want to feel that I was the outcast since my husband Michael and my stepdaughter Chelsea and my other stepkids to eat meat. So I thought, oh, I better do it that way. The problem was I wasn't losing weight that way, because after a few days I would eat more. So it wasn't, I would still eat more fruits and veggies, and lots of meat. So in the end it was like, oh, I just needed to just go vegan completely. It would be easier than to think, oh, how much meat did I eat before? I can't eat that now. I was thinking of doing just once a day, eating meat once a day or once a week. But when I did that, I was just like thinking, oh, like I can't wait until the next day, or you know, I can't wait until the next meal I'm allowed to eat meat. It was making me obsessed. So that's why I couldn't do like, you know, like flexitarian or something. So I just decided I'll just be vegan. And my daughter, you know, she loves being vegan. She was vegan for 7 years, and she stopped last year because I asked her, and she missed it. And although she never really gained weight, maybe just 1 pound, she didn't like being not vegan because she's an ethical vegan. She loves, or she's an animal lover. So she was so happy when I said I'm going vegan. So there are struggles to being vegan, and it's not just like me. I'm addicted to meat and dairy, even though I'm sensitive to dairy. But it's not just that I miss meat and dairy, or sometimes fish and seafoods. It's not just that. That's not the only struggle, and it's not just that I would have to explain to people I'm vegan. Like, for example, when you eat in a restaurant, you have to like say, oh, can you do this without cheese and just put guacamole or hummus? Oh, can you remove the fish and just put beans? You know, things like that. It doesn't bother me because when you go out to eat, you pay them, right? So I either do it or not. That they can't do it because, you know, sauces are already mixed. I didn't have problems with that. I'm used to ordering out, and yeah, and even if they would make a mistake, I would still eat it. Like, if they ever do that, and sometimes they do, I don't want them to, because otherwise I don't know what they do. If they throw it, and you know, that's not good. But they usually do what you tell them to do. So, and I'm not an ethical vegan, I'm not an animal lover, so that's why it's okay for me. I'm doing it for my health. And but the struggle is, of course, seeing the food in the house. You will see the meat, and of course that's not so easy. or when you see the members of your household eating meat, I become envious. I not really salivate. I was about to say salivate, but just being envious. And then I just need to think, oh, I'll get the numbness in my feet. It will come back, the cramps, the headaches, the things like that, and of course the pain in my tummy, because I can't handle fats. And of course there's fats implants, but I usually can handle them better unless it's oil. So the biggest struggle is when people around you question your vegan diet. I don't care if it's strangers. I don't care if it's strangers. I don't care if it's viewers who don't know me well. It's when people I love question, like if they say, oh, are you going to be a super vegan? Are you going to be an uber vegan? So you won't eat fish, you won't eat eggs, you won't eat dairy, you won't eat, like, and I would have to say, well, it's not vegan. Or if they say, oh, why can't you just not adjust, when we're traveling? Or why can't you just for this day not be vegan? And then I would have to defend myself and say, well, I want to be healthy. I don't want to have the numbness. I don't want to have the fatigue because of the pre-diabetes. I don't want to, I want to be healthy. And it's so hard because when you love someone, and if you have your family members, when they say that, even though they're not saying that you're doing something wrong, I mean, it's one thing they don't support you, but it's another thing that they question your choice. It's your body. And it's, I mean, especially since I would have the pre-diabetes symptoms if I'm not, like, if I eat something, if Michael gives me something, I would get cramps that night, or I would get, I would get the symptoms. And also there's a risk I would eat more and more and more, so there would be more symptoms. So that's, for me, that's the hardest. And I remember when we were in Denmark, it was so hard when my mom was doing the same thing. Would tempt me with foods, with meat and everything, and almost, feed me. And I know they are doing that because they love me. They want me to eat the things they eat. It's a cultural thing too. It's not just, food is not just about your health. It's not just, it's a cultural thing, because I noticed that when Maria didn't go back to eating meat, when I went back to eating meat, I felt like she didn't love me anymore. She didn't want to eat my foods anymore. So I understand that if someone is cooking food for me. So I understand my mom, but I couldn't understand with other members of my family if they're usually not the ones cooking. I'm still the one who's cooking. And yeah, and another struggle is that, I'm just so thankful that Michael is not a big meat eater, so he eats hoagies with ham. I'm not a big fan of ham, so I'm not envious when he's eating hoagies. So thank God for that, or I would just salivate every time he would eat. And so that's hard for me. And also, if I would be cooking something that's so yummy, like adobong pork or adobong chicken, because those are my favorites. Adobo is, there's a sauce, so you cook something, usually meat, but you can cook eggplants and other veggies with this sauce, and the sauce is soy sauce, vinegar, oil, and you would usually put garlic, onion, spices. You would usually put garlic, onion, spices. So that's a big struggle too when I have to cook. When I have to cook food for others that I love. But I'm starting to learn how to do it, because at first I was thinking, you know, I would taste, but oh my god, it's so hard to taste. So I would just try to remember out of, you know, like muscle memory. Like I would weigh. That's what I did before anyway. Like I would look how much the meat would weigh, and then that's how I put spices and salt. I would rather salt it not so much, so that Mikey can decide how much he wants to put. So that's my solution to not being tempted. But of course the smell, guys. It's so hard. It was so much easier when Maria and I were vegans in Denmark. It was so much easier. So 2015, when I started this channel, that's when I became a meat eater again, and Maria didn't follow me. Thank God, or she would have gained weight, because before we started going vegan, she was never overweight. But you know, it's normal that you gain weight at with your age. But luckily we were working, so even though just before we became vegan, that's why she didn't gain so much weight, because we were exercising so much, we were working so much. So so for me, those are the struggles of going vegan. Not really of going vegan, but being with people who are not vegans. And I know if you have a kid and you let that kid be vegan, you would be judged. But Maria was already 17 when we went vegan, so I didn't have that problem. But I know other parents would experience that. So any diet can be a bad diet. Even vegans can have a bad diet. There are junk food vegans. So I know that just because you're vegan, it doesn't mean that you have a perfect diet. So for me, going vegan is always a whole foods, plant-based diet. Of course it's plant-based, I mean whole foods vegan diet, and for me it's always high carb, and I mean mostly starch, and it has veggies, so lots of fiber, very little fat. I just made Michael buy me an air fryer kosori, and I have recipes, and I will do some videos for you guys with the air fried veggies, air fried foods, air fried desserts, air fried cookies and cakes. I made air fried cinnamon buns with frosting on top, and I will do mukbang tomorrow or in the next video, guys. So I just wanted to share this to you guys, so you know it's not easy going vegan, and it's not just not eating meat, not eating the dairy, but the reactions of your family members. For me it's so much harder, since I'm doing this for my health. So I don't want to be challenged, I don't want to be questioned, because I'm already experiencing it as a big challenge. And if you still need to defend yourself, then it's almost like impossible, because then it's just easier to eat the meat and dairy and everyone is happy. So I'm I'm a strong person. I have a strong will, but of course I have my limits too. If my closest question my actions, I'm not, you know, no one is in an island, so you would still be affected when people you love are commenting and saying things like that. But I am learning to defend myself. Becomes like, you know, almost like a mantra. It comes out my mouth, and of course it takes practice to be able to tell everyone this is what I'm doing. I'm not forcing you to do this, although I do convince or try to give Michael more veggies and some fruits, you know, and as I said, he's not a big meat eater. He's now eating more oatmeal, more shakes, more salad. And you know, like when we are in Safeway, he would say things like, oh, I would want to get that steak, but you're not eating steak, so I'm not eating. And I would usually tell him, I would still cook it for you, and you know, we slice it and you can do hoagies with it. So yeah, so he's doing his best in eating plant-based, so I'm so happy about that. And yeah, I just wanted to share that to you guys, because I know some of you love to experiment, so you know how you would handle it. And yeah, if you want to want to be able to defend your vegan diet, read books like this, Dr. Neil Barnard's Reversing Diabetes, Dr. McDougall's The Starch Solution, Dr. Michael Greger's How Not to Die. And I would suggest you read these books, because they are doctors and scientists, and Dr. Michael Greger is also a nutritionist. So I wouldn't tell you to read a vegan diet just written by a doctor, because doctors don't have nutrition knowledge. They don't even get many of them don't even get anything in nutrition classes, except for what they learned when they were in elementary or high school. So just because they're doctors, that doesn't mean they know everything about health. They are experts in diseases, how to fix some diseases like acute sickness or emergency, you know, but they are not good in preventing diseases, at least not without medication, not without surgeries. So if you want to prevent diseases, go vegan or at least plant-based if you can, or at least plant-based if you can do that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel, ScorpioAnnYT, and to click on your notification bell so you will know when I upload a video. And please go to my husband's ASMR channel also, Michael Soothing ASMR, and my daughter's 2 channels, Aryaville and Art and Beauty Freak. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you.